Sawubona Mzansi. Welcome to this evening's MIH Live. I was just checking if things are sorted out. Also, my lips were a little bit crusty. Putting on some lotion for you. Thank you so much for joining the live this evening. Really appreciate you. So, before we get into what we're going to do today, Jay, I just want to let you know that we fixed the issue. We figured out what it was. It was a location issue. And we put something in place to prevent that from happening again. Multiple different solutions for it. So the one solution, if there's any error calculating or let me break it down like this. The error was caused by obviously you manually entered in your location under the GPS location field, and we tried to do a calculation with that input that you entered in, and that caused an error because we were doing like a normal multiplication kind of calculation, right? So that's what caused the error. So we put something in place. If an error occurs, I'll show you later on, but if an error occurs, you'll see that it'll have like little stars over there, and it won't give you your distance to that business. So we fixed that, and we also put in place what else was it? And also, we're not making the field editable anymore, so you won't be able to manually enter any text into that field. You'll have to use the set GPS location button on the side of that field. So that's how we resolved that. So thank you so much everyone for joining the live this evening. What we're going to get up to today is we're going to continue working on or continue testing out the Mzansi wallet. So remember not the Mzansi wallet, sorry, the Mzansi directory. So remember that the Mzansi directory is a place for us to search for people and businesses across Mzansi, finding out what their purpose is, connecting with them, or finding out what the business's mission and vision is, and also navigating to them, calling them, all of those kind of things, right? So let's flip the camera and let's jump into it. If you have any questions about MIH, please let me know in the chat. I am monitoring the chat over here on my side, so please feel free to let me know. And also, for those that are new here, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Also on TikTok, but the experience is way better over on the other platforms. So if I switch this over, perfect. So this is MIH. If you'd like to, let me remove this, expand this, and then I'll put this in the middle of the screen to make it easy for the people on TikTok to see also. So this is what MIH looks like. If you'd like to create an account, we are free. It is a free application, so you can go to you can just Google Mzansi Innovation Hub, or you can go to the Google Play Store and Apple App Store and download it from there. So what we're testing out today is the Mzansi directory. It's a new package that was added into MIH, and it's a place for us to search for people and businesses across Mzansi. So if we click on this, so I'll go through a list of people that I know off the top of my head. So remember, this is just phase one of the Mzansi directory, but more functionalities and more features will be coming in the future. So Jay just said, I'm glad you fixed the bug. Thank you so much, Jay. And thank you for testing it out also. This is why I want people to test out MIH, because I'm testing it out myself, but I can't test all the edge cases, right? Sometimes I forget about that. And this is where the people of Mzansi are extremely useful to us, right? Like Jay. So he found a bug yesterday during the live, and we managed to fix that during the day. And in the next update, we will add that in there also. So this is the Mzansi directory. You can see that there's a switch button on the side. You can switch between searching for the people of Mzansi and searching for businesses of Mzansi, right? Just by one click, you can switch between them. So we'll search for businesses. So I'll first start off by showcasing my specific username inside MIH. And also, we're going to check out everyone's MIH account and also check out our purposes. So please feel free to let me know what your username is in the chat, then I'll search for you. So my username is yaso_meth. You can search for me there. And you can see this is my profile picture. Wait, sorry. Yeah, this is my profile picture. This is me. If we click on this, it'll take me to my profile. So you can see that in my profile, my username is yaso_meth. My name is Yasin Meth. I have a business account inside MIH. And my purpose is to build a platform that makes the daily lives of all the people and businesses of Mzansi easier, right? So that's my purpose in life. And then obviously, let's keep working hard in Mzansi because I love working hard on what I like to achieve, right? So that's me. I can go through a whole lot of different people. So we also have, I can show you my father. So he also has a business account inside MIH. No purpose added yet, but he can add that in later. We have my mother here at the top. I'm not sure who this is, but another user of MIH. This is here, Oscar. I can search for my brother, which is here. Right? No purpose yet, but also a business account. And we can search for, let's search for Jay, because I know Jay's here in the chat. JD or Jaden. So Jaden's purpose. So remember, this purpose is, what's your purpose in life, right? Not the purpose for using MIH. I'll show you why I say that in a bit. But his purpose is to be the best version of himself, right? Beautiful purpose. I love it. So we can go back and you can see there's a whole lot of other people also. You can see there's Jmu or Jmo. We have Kus also. So there's lots of different people that have created accounts. And we also have Canelwe. This is Canelwe's account also. And remember, we don't only have to search for people, but we can also search for businesses. So if we go back and we'll search for Mzansi, right? You'll see that, yeah, there's a few test profiles over there. Don't mind them any business, that's okay. But we have, yeah, Mzansi Innovation Hub, digitizing Mzansi one process at a time and making sure no one is left behind in the digital revolution. This is what we're currently in right now, right? If you'd like to, remember guys, you can, it's live right now. You can search for us through the Mzansi directory. And if you'd like to call us, you can call, email, navigate to us, and you can visit our website. But visiting our website just takes you back to MIH. So there's no need for that. So you can click on it and it'll take you back to MIH, right? But for other businesses, there's other websites. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So the next business that we were working on yesterday, and I'll show you what the bug is. The bug will pop up over here, but JC, right? This bug appears. But if we head over to our local host, which is the development environment, or SIT, let me call this SIT first. And then if I search for JC and switch over to the business side, you can see this is what I was talking about earlier. If you can see at the bottom of this, or just below JC photo booth, you'll see that it's a photography company, but the kilometers are starred out. This is basically, there's an error in pulling the kilometers and we can't calculate the distance, right? But if we click on this, it takes you to JC's photo booth's business, right? Here we can call, email, navigate, and I need to fix the navigate part and visit the website. So the most important one out of all of this is visiting the website part, right? So if you're scrolling through and you've discovered JC's photo booth and you are interested in looking at their website, right, or finding out more about them because you're happy with what their purpose is all about, which is capturing smiles one snapshot at a time, step into our world of fun and memories, right? That's their mission, that's their vision as a business. And you can click on it and it'll take you through to their business where you can learn more about what they have to offer, all right? So slowly but surely we'll add more of these more information inside MIH so that a company or a business wouldn't really have to have their own website, but if they do have a website, it is an option available there. Another business that we can look at, which is my father's business, so we can say Pisces, right? So you can see this is a swimming lessons business, right? So if I were to search for swimming, it'll also appear there, right? Thank you so much for the feature. I appreciate you, Jay, and thank you so much for supporting MIH and using MIH. I really appreciate that. That's the best gift that you can give me. So here's Pisces Swimming Academy. So it's a swimming lessons business. You can see that they are almost 500 kilometers from me. That's because they're in Durban. If you click on this, you can see what their mission is, their mission and their vision. So their mission and vision for Pisces Swimming Academy is from township to Olympics. So it's basically bringing people from the township, teaching them how to swim, and giving them the capabilities and skills in order for them to compete in the Olympics, right? So that's their mission and vision. I'm loving this mission and vision. If we would like to call them, we can just click on call and book some lessons with them, or if we would like to email them, we can email them through here or navigate to them, right? It's all available there. The website, I'm sure that website will be added on soon, and the profile picture will be added, right? But we can give it some time. I think we just set it up yesterday. So that's another business. So anyone in the chat right now, if you have an MIH account, please let me know what it is, then I'll check it out. But while we're waiting for that to come through, we can have a look to see what other people's missions and visions are inside MIH, right? So there should be someone called ZA_MAA. Go to the person side. There's it over here. So you can see this person's name is Wallet. So their purpose is to just be a wallet, right? That's what this person's purpose is. So now I'm just lying. I'm just lying. They're probably saying that their purpose for using the app was is to use it for the wallet, right? Which is a little bit funny. Then the next one that we can check out is Primi. Let's go back. PRIMI_. Right? Another member of Mzansi. What is the recommended profile image dimensions? Okay, that's an interesting question, Jay. So I think the recommended one would be, let's go back. So this is a great question from Jay over on TikTok. The question is, what's the recommended dimensions of your image to be loaded onto MIH? Very interesting question. And I think let me go here. So like a square image, like similar to what you get on Instagram and stuff, that's the best image to use is that one over there. I'm not sure where it is right now that I can show you. Yeah, so you see this image over here. This is a perfect image, right? This is a square image. So what MIH does is basically if you submit an image, it'll take the middle square of that image and display it in the profile picture field. So that's what we have over here. So it's a square image, so maybe 1 by 1, or I'm not sure exactly what the dimensions are, but I think in your camera, if you select the dimensions 1 by 1, it should take a picture like this for you, and you can add that onto MIH. But if you have a longer image like this one, for example, which is more rectangle, it'll take the middle square over here. So that's the dimension. I think that's a 1 by 1 square. Hope that assists you in answering the question of profile pictures. Let's go back to the Mzansi directory. So let's check some other people. So we're looking at Primi, sorry. We're looking at Primi. So it's also a business account, less loyalty cards. I'm loving that people's purpose is to get rid of. Thank you so much, Jay. I hope to see a nice profile picture on there for you also. So this person, Primi's purpose is to have less loyalty cards in their pocket. That's perfect because that's the exact purpose of the Mzansi wallet, right? Is to remove your loyalty cards from your physical wallet and add them to your digital wallet. Next person that we can have a look at is Lawrence, right? So to store retail cards, another person whose purpose is to store lots of loyalty cards on the Mzansi wallet. I appreciate all of you so much for using MIH to store your digital or your loyalty cards digitally, right? I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the feature and the package. Next one that we can try out is my Samuel, right? So we can say my Samuel, my underscore Sam, right? So you can see Muhammad Yusuf Samuels. If we click on this is a personal account, but their mission is to have all my all my cards on my phone and to support local businesses, right? This is a perfect mission and a wonderful vision. This is a perfect purpose to have, right? Because MIH is the place to be to support local businesses and a place to store your cards digitally, right? The next person that we will check out is Toob, T-O-O-B, right? T-O-O-B. So you can see two projects. Two projects has a purpose over here. So two projects builds scalable software and automation solutions using Java, Kotlin, and Go. We offer consulting, developer education, and content that empowers teams to deliver clean, efficient, and reliable solutions. What a beautiful purpose. This is what I like about MIH. It's showing us what the people are firstly capable of and what their dreams and missions and purpose is for them, right? So I'm definitely interested in seeing if or what their business is and if they have a website. I would love to. Let's switch over and see if they have a business side also. Interesting. But that's okay. And lastly, we have two more left that I would like to check out. So this is Anzo. Let's switch back to the personal side. So Anzo's purpose is to save as much as possible. Perfect. Probably saving to go on holidays or buy a new house or make their life better. All these kind of things, right? Another amazing purpose by Anzo. And lastly, we have Ashley. Clean, simple username. Ashley, you will be the only Ashley without any numbers next to it, because you are quick to creating an MIH account, and you're the first person to use the username Ashley. So you can see their purpose is Mzansi wallet. Love it. Their purpose in life is just to use the Mzansi wallet. This is amazing. People love the Mzansi wallet so much that it actually became their purpose. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Next, what we can have a look at is try and have a look at some of the businesses. Yeah, we can try and have a look at some of the businesses of Mzansi also. So what I'll do is I'll have a look on my side and we can see a few people or see a few businesses that we can have a look at. So, cool. So maybe we can also start coding. So I see there are a few businesses over here. Let's see who has. Now I think we can start coding for now, right? So I started making notes because if we open up Canva one more time, if you would remember when we were first creating the Mzansi wallet, we designed everything together and it's about 50% of the way there to what we've created. But what we are trying to check out is this part over here. So there's two parts that's missing to this. So it's the rate us button and the bookmark button, right? And this, what is this called? The stars, the ratings, right? So I was doing a little bit of research today and I've found, or I came across some rating things. So because we're using Flutter as a front-end framework for MIH, we are going to, thank you so much for all the hearts, I appreciate you. We are going to, so yeah, because we're using Flutter as a front-end framework, we are going to use pub.dev. So pub.dev is a package manager. You can see the package manager with official packages for Dart, the programming language that we're using, and for the Flutter app. Asekona, I love to see the live videos like this one on my FYP. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you found me on your FYP. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you are here today. Asekona, do you have an MIH account, and would you like us to go and search for you on the Mzansi directory? Let us know if you're comfortable with that, and I'm more than happy to do that for you. But like I was saying, we can use pub.dev, right? So pub.dev is the package manager for Dart and Flutter apps. So it is tools created by other people in the community, in the Flutter and Dart community, that created something cool and would like to share it with multiple people. So if you are looking for something cool and you don't want to reinvent the wheel, and you're using Flutter as your framework, you can go to pub.dev and search for, we're searching for rating, right? So we'll just search for rating and we'll see what appears. Let's expand this a little bit. So you can see there's a rating bottom sheet. Okay, interesting. We can have a look at this and see what that's all about. So this is what pub.dev is all about, right? So there's some readme stuff, there's how to install it and examples. But this, I don't like the look and feel of this one. If I'm being honest, I don't like the look and feel of this one. I want to reserve this bottom sliding thing for something else in the future for MIH. So I wouldn't want to do that now. I'll just use the same tools or same framework elements that we've created, like the MIH window, to display some of our information. So we can just go back. We won't use this one. And also another thing, when you are looking for different packages on pub.dev, something important to look out for is you have to look on the side over here, right? So how many likes are there? Don't worry about the points. I don't know what the meaning of the points are, how many downloads there are. Another important one to look out for is how long have they, or when's the last time it was updated, this specific package. So you can see this one over here is version 1.0.0 and it's dev, and it was last updated 3 years ago. Right? So I wouldn't recommend using this one because of the lack of maintenance of this package. So we'll scroll further down. Here we have in-app reviews. So if we click on this, let's see what's it all about. So I like looking at the pictures and stuff. So it's basically you know, like when you're in one of the applications and they ask you to rate the app. Right, so this is what this one is all about, rating the actual application on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store, right? So this is after a certain amount of time that you used an application. You can see it over here. This Flutter plugin lets you show a review pop-up where users can leave a review for your app without needing to close the application. Very cool package, and I will add this into the future. I remember Jay, when he first emailed me about some of his ideas, one of the ideas was to put in-app reviews in. But the one thing that I still need to learn about before we can implement this is, if you look under the usage section, under the do's and avoids, the do's and don'ts, right? So we are not allowed as a developer, and it's a rule if you are publishing on any app store, that you can't trigger this pop-up or trigger a user to rate your application through a button click, right? If you use this button way too many times, what will happen is they'll probably ban your account on the Google Play Store, right, or the Apple App Store. So what you have to do is, if you're using this package over here, you'll have to follow their instructions. If we go to example, you'll have to just try and understand how they coded this, how they implemented this. And yes, I emailed you about that 100%, and I do remember it, and it is a part of the backlog. So yeah, so there's a certain way that you have to implement this in order to trigger it only after a certain amount of time that the application has been used and certain criteria, right? So I'll have to dive a little bit deeper into that before we even move over or try and utilize this package. right? But very interesting package if you have an application and if you are using Dart as your frame, or if you're using Dart as your language and Flutter as your framework, please feel free to use this one over here for your in-app reviews, right? Because I think any application that lives on any app store lives and dies by the people's reviews, right? So uh, this is a great way to push people to review your application. Next one is Flutter rating bar. So this, when I was doing some research on YouTube, and I watched a video that was speaking about Flutter a rating bar. So if we click on this, I'll probably use this one or the one below that, but I'll show you why I'm a little bit hesitant to use this one. So yeah, this thing is really bad over here, but basically I'll read it out for you. So this is Flutter rating bar. This was updated 3 years ago, right? Which is my first red flag. However, if we look on the side, we'll see that this one has been downloaded 300,000 times, 305,000 times, right? Liked over like 2,500 times. So it's quite a good package. The only problem is it was published, or it was last updated in 2022, which is quite old. That means that either the developers have, we can have a look to see, but either the developers have abandoned this project, or it has been forked over to a new project and people are using that one. So, sorry, let me go back and I'll show you what this, the cool thing about, thank you so much, Jay, for the heart me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you would like to see my full screen, please head over there, and you can see my face while I'm speaking to you. So, another cool thing about Flutter, or when you are using any packages from pub.dev, is you have to look at the licensing part of it over here, right? So this is the MIT license. If you're not sure what the MIT license is all about, what you can do is you can just ask Mzansi, right, what the MIT license is about. What, or let's say, please explain what the MIT license is. And yesterday, for those that are joining for the first time today, yesterday we tested out the intelligence of Mzansi AI because it's using Gemma 3N now, and it's definitely much smarter and got all of our questions correct. Let's listen what the MIT license is about.
Hey there, Waken Hack. So, you want to know about the MIT license? No problem, I can definitely help with that smiling face with smiling eyes and rosy cheeks. The MIT license is a very popular and permissive open source license. Basically, it's like a permission slip that allows anyone to do almost anything with the software, use it, copy it, modify it, merge it, sell it, and distribute it, as long as they include the original MIT license text in the copyright notice. Think of it as a super flexible license. It's short, easy to understand, and doesn't impose any restrictions. It's a favorite among developers because it encourages collaboration and sharing.
Right? So that's the gist of what the MIT license. Thank you so much, Mzansi AI, for your answer. So it's a very popular license and permissive open source license, right? So it allows a lot of permission in this license. So what you can do, if someone has an MIT license software, you can take the software, you can modify it, you can do whatever you want to it. You can then make it closed source, I think, and then release that to the public, as long as you have that MIT license in the bottom. I think that's what it's all about, right? But it's one of the best licenses out there. People get excited when they see the MIT license, right? Then once you are happy with what the license is, I just checked out MIH on Google. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Do you want me to check out your profile through the Mzansi directory? Let me know what username you chose. Then we can check you out. But like I was saying, we can, now that we're happy with the type of license that the software is using, we can then head over to, we don't have to use the API referencing. That comes later on. We can use the documentation just to see what's happening with this package itself. And how recently did they update things, right? And their issues. So if we look at the issues section, there are 36 open issues going all the way back to 2021. And Going to 2023. Thank you so much for the likes on YouTube. I appreciate you. Yes, check you out. Nice. So let's search for you. Can I just search for your name? ASEKHO. Love to see you there. Love to see you there. I appreciate. Let's check out Asekona's purpose, right? So, as an ICT honors student, nice. I love to see people getting their educations and getting different qualifications and stuff. I'm driven to build innovative tech solutions that address real challenges in South African communities. Beautiful. This is the purpose of MIH, so that people can find out who you are and what your purpose is. My goal is to empower lives through accessible digital tools in areas like education, healthcare, and public services. This is such a beautiful, amazing purpose in life. I really like this one. So this is so cool, guys. If you like Asekona's purpose, please feel free to follow her. She's in the chat right now on TikTok. Follow her on TikTok. And one day you'll be able to connect with her through MIH itself. But cool. Love it. Thank you so much for creating an account. I appreciate you. And this is an extremely beautiful purpose. I hope everything is going well with your studies. And I know now it's June exams. June exams just passed, and I think results are coming out now. So I hope everything is going well on that side. And I hope you pass everything well at the end of the year, and you get your dream job afterwards, where you are creating powerful solutions that is going to help in the education sector, healthcare sector, and public service sector. Public service is definitely all of these sectors really in our country need some revitalization. Everything as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cool. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. If you'd like to check out Asekona's purpose, please, you can use the Mzansi directory, and under the people of Mzansi search, you can find it there. Cool. So going over to, yes, well, like I was saying, we looked at the code. And so this is GitHub, guys. For those that don't know what GitHub is, it's a repository of code that has version control. I think Mzansi AI will be a little bit better at explaining this than me, but let's ask Mzansi AI, what is GitHub? GitHub. All right, give it a second to load. And yeah, Mzansi AI comes with long stories lately.
Hey, wave in hand. Great question. Let me tell you about GitHub smiling face with smiling eyes and rosy cheeks. GitHub is basically a website and a platform that helps software developers collaborate on projects. Think of it as a central hub for storing code, tracking changes, and working together with other developers.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mzansi. Remember, if you are struggling to answer a question, no need to go to Google anymore. Now you can just ask Mzansi. So what is GitHub? GitHub is basically a website and a platform that helps software developers collaborate on the same project. So it's like a central hub for storing your code, tracking changes. So this is why people love it so much. It allows you to track the changes of your project. So say, for example, I'll give you an example of what happened with me right now. GitHub saved me. In the early stages of MIH, I was coding on my laptop, and I had Windows on there. Keep that in mind. I had Windows on my computer, and everything was running fine for like about a couple of months, like 3-4 months was working fine. Then one day, my laptop crashed. I had the blue screen of death inside Windows. But then because I was on GitHub, and every single day I backed up and stored my code, or the progress of the day, I only lost about like half a day of progress when I managed to get my laptop back up and running. And how I did that was I moved over to Ubuntu operating system, so Ubuntu desktop, and I used that as my operating system. Extremely happy, but that's how GitHub saved me from starting my project from scratch. So if you have a project out there and it's super important to you, please don't leave it on your laptop, right? Anything can happen to your laptop. Put it in a place like GitHub, but there's also alternatives out there, right? But GitHub is the most popular one. And if we look inside VS Code, there's a whole GitHub extension that helps you easily commit, manage, pull, all of those different kinds of things with GitHub. So it's a great tool to know and use. A little bit scary to figure out in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, you start moving super quickly and you'll start seeing the benefit extremely quickly. Right? So that's what GitHub is all about for those that didn't know. So now that we're on GitHub, the first thing that I like to look for is here on the top corner. When was the last time someone updated this project itself, right? So you can see it was 2 years ago, and the update to this project was updated example apps, right? So they were just updating the example of how to use their package. And this was 2 years ago. If we look at the top and the issues, this is the next place that I like to look for things. Thank you so much for the likes. I see they flying through on YouTube. So if we have a look over here, right? So this is the issues section. So because GitHub it allows you to make your projects public. So just like what we're doing right now, we can see everything that this person is coding and is doing on this project, right? So because it's publicly accessible, people that are using this code, sometimes they find issues with the code and they would log these issues, right? So a good thing to look out for over here is how long ago was the most recent issue, and is it still chilling over there, right? Like if you see over here 2021, this issue wasn't resolved. Not saying that this developer is lazy or anything, but I don't know if they maintain their project that much. So you can reproduce the iOS. Thanks for reporting. We'll look into it, right? So after he did say he'll look into it, but never ended up fixing the solution, or fixed it and didn't update it on the side, right? So this is some of the things to look out for. But if we don't want to use this one, let's go back. So this one over here, I don't want to use it because it's not updated as frequently as I would like it to be updated. It's going back to pub.dev. Just below that, so this was Flutter rating bar. So that's what we were looking at. The next one over here is a custom rating bar. I'm thinking this is the one that we can use. It was updated 12 months ago. Still a little bit long, but it should be fine. It should be fine. And then we have one 14 months ago. The likes. We can see what this one is about, but let's look at the custom rating bar, right? See what they're all about. The custom rating bars, yeah. So this is the showcase of what it can do, all right? This is the showcase of what it can do. So it allows you to have half icons. So if you have like a rating, like this one's rating would be 3.5, you can allow half ratings. In that other package that we just looked at, it doesn't allow half ratings, right? There's custom colors. So if it's a full star, it's green. If it's half a star, it's yellow. If it's empty, then it's red. Something like this. Or custom icons. So you can use your own icons inside this. And remember, we have the MIH icon pack inside the MIH app, right? So we can use that. So this is also something extremely interesting that we can use. Different alignments, things like this. So I'm leaning more towards this one. And if we have a look over here, this is the BSD3 clause license, right? So we can go back to Mzansi AI and ask Mzansi AI about this. Let's clear this chat. What is this all about? So I know for a fact that Chromium, the Chromium project, so you can see I'm using Chrome right now, but there's an open source version of Chrome called Chromium, right? So Chromium is an open source, there's it over here, the Chromium project. So it's an open source version of Chrome. That's why you see a lot of applications out there, a lot of applications or a lot of browsers out there use Chromium as their foundation, and then they create their application. I think Opera GX is one of them. I know that. I'm thinking Brave, but I might be mistaken. But the Chromium project, where can we see the code? But it's under the BSD license. That's what I wanted to show you. Yeah. So the Chromium project is under the BSD license. And yeah, so they use that license. So this license is basically, let's listen.
BSD3 clause license, a comprehensive overview. The BSD3 clause license is a permissive free software license widely used for software development. It's known for being simple, easy to understand, and very flexible. It allows you to use, modify, distribute, and sell the software, even in proprietary, closed source projects, with minimal restrictions. Here's a breakdown of what it's all about.
Right, so we don't have to read the whole thing. If you'd like to read all of this, you can just ask Mzansi, and Mzansi will explain it all to you. So the BS3 clause is a permissive free software license. Right, lots of people use it. Like I said, Chromium uses it under theirs, and you can take the software that has this license, you can modify it, and you can even make it closed source. You can make it proprietary so that no one else can see the code. So that's what this software license allows us to do, right? So if we go back to, not here, back to here, so we know the license is fine. We are happy with this license. We can then move over to the GitHub repository just to see when's the last time someone updated this. So you can see about a year ago, bump dependencies in package. I'm not sure what this is all about, right? We can click on it to investigate, but so this is a year ago. The issues, you can see there's only 2 issues over here. They're both open, 2023, 2024, also kind of old. Short description of request feature. The permission guard widget can add a field when status permission. Yeah, I think it's just recommendations from someone, right over here. If we go back to animation, animate the item removal from the automated list. Another request, and it looks like, sorry, been a little busy lately. I think this is the creator of this, been a little busy lately. We'll try to look into this before Christmas. Added, so what is this? So maybe it was added already, or they added just a tag to it. Quite cool. So you can see there's minimum issues over here. And the person does respond, but it's been a minute since they've updated it. But I think this is the most recent one. So I would like to start using this package, right? So I can take you through the process, if you'd like that. I can take you through the process of adding this package to my project. So if we go back to here. Yeah, so all we have to do, so since I'm using Flutter, Flutter uses a pub spec file. A pub spec file is basically a file that manages your dependencies, right? So I'm going to head over to my pub spec file now. And you can see here's all the different packages that we are using inside MIH, right? So just below this, I can paste in the custom rating bar package. Once I do that, it should start running at the bottom. Yeah, you can see it starts running over there. And it should start pulling all the dependencies for me automatically by itself. Everything that this guy published in his code should be available there. Once it's available and everything ran fine, I'll just reload the app. And let's go to our test package. Let's stop abusing the first test package. Let's use the second test package now. So under the body, okay, body. So let's take another yank. What is this? Container, black, full. Yeah, let's put it over here. Paste. Oh. Now if we have a look at the project file itself, we can, in order to import it, you can import it using this line of code over here, but VS Code will do that for me. So a basic rating widget is just this. You can just copy and paste it. That's what the code is there for. So you can copy and paste it. Then using VS Code, I'll use control dot and I'll import that package for me. Then I'll save it. And then hopefully when we open up the emulated version of MIH, let's scan our fingerprint, open up the test package, and this one is under test package 2. So you can see there's it over there. Easy, simple. You can see there was literally zero effort required on my side in order to add this package into MIH, right? Do you see how quick that was to add stars into the thing, right? All we did was import this package over here and use their basic code over here. So the stars, read only. So I want a read only one. Read only. So let's try and figure out, this is a good thing that we can do. So I'll put my code over here. I'll put this over here also. We'll make it a little bit small. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you. So what we can do is, I want to add this to our business information card. So that's on the business profile. That's under your business profile. It's this thing over here. So if we were looking at our design that we did inside Canva, you'll see that we added the ratings just above the call button, and it was in read-only mode. So I will open this up, and we can test it out now. So in order to do that, what we can do is we can go to here, sorry, let me show you. So we can go here, business card, we can close this, and I'll add I think double over here. So let's add a final double rating, right? Because that's what we're going to need to take into this thing. So then I'll just yank this one, undo. I'll yank this, I'll paste this in, and then over here I'll just add rating. So basically what I'm doing is, in this widget we're going to require a rating also. So you'll see they'll probably give me some errors when I save this, but that's okay, errors are fine. The only thing that we will have to do is, where's my emulator? So I'll take my emulator on the side over here, and yeah, so fix some of those errors. So the first error should be under the test package, under the example package. So we'll fix that one first. Rating 3.5. I wanted to see what happens if you go like 3.25. So you can see over here, I'm calling my custom widget on the screen right now. Quick question, bro. So there's a question from Kotso, I think I'm pronouncing it Mama Bolo, right? Quick question, bro. How does one deploy a web app that has to do bookings and hold a database? This is a great question, right? This is a great question. Thank you so much for the question. So your infrastructure will have to look something like this, right? So we did this in one of the previous lives. Someone had a question about the API layer, but this is what your application will have to look like, right? So this, think of the white background over here as your server, or your server that you have, whether it's AWS, whether it's in-house, whether it's hosted somewhere else, right, on some third-party platform. So you would have a database that sits on the server. This is a persistent database. So what that means is, it holds information, it stores information for you, right, in your on your server. Then you have an API layer. What an API layer is basically, what API means is application programming interface. So it allows applications to interact with other applications, right? That's the simplest way I can put it. So it allows one application to interact with another application, right? Then you would have your front end. So here's your web app over here. So once you have your web app and it's ready to be deployed somewhere, you would also have to deploy or my recommendation, let me not say you would have to do that. My recommendation would be to also have an API layer. So instead of your web app connecting directly to the database, like what you would do in PHP and all of those other applications, instead of connecting directly to the database or storing the information locally on the person's laptop or on their phone or something, what you can do is you can create an API layer. So an API allows your application, whether it's a web app, Android app, or iOS app, it can connect to the database via your API layer. So they're all using the same language to communicate with the database, instead of programming one way in your web app, then another way in your Android app, then another way in your iOS app. Now you have to code it 3 different ways of pulling information or pushing information to your database. So you would have to use an API layer to connect or pull information, push information, whatever you want to do with your database information, right? So that's how you would do it. So say, for example, in your web app, it has to do bookings, right? So say you want to book an appointment for someone. MIH has that functionality also, right? So if we have a look over here, in MIH, under the, let's go to the personal side, because most people have a personal account. We can go to the calendar and we can book appointments over here. You see add appointment, and then I can give it a title, testing. The date, it's selectable. I'll just say today. The time is also selectable, and then testing for MIH live. Please don't laugh if it fails, but so our appointment is successfully created. So what happened in the background is, so this is the web version of MIH. You can see it's running on Chrome. So in my web version, I connected, or I used an API call from my API layer, and this API layer then communicated with the database, pulled the information that I want, or created the information that I want, comes back to the API layer. Then the API layer, thank you so much 222 for following you, love it, or for joining us. And then the API layer will come back. I got it, so how can I house my database? Okay, perfect. So now that you have that understanding, how do you house the database? So there's many ways of doing that. You can just go, so firstly you'll have to choose a database tool, right? So what tool are you going to use? So there's Postgres. Postgres is a SQL kind of language for storing information. You can use that. There is MySQL, right? MySQL, which is also a thing. I'm not sure. Thank you so much, Tabang, for the follow. I don't know which one you are more comfortable with, right? Or which one you're willing to learn. XAMPP. So that's another good example using XAMPP. Let's say you use MySQL. So like Jay said, there's another way of doing it using XAMPP, which is what is this? XAMPP is a completely free, easy to install Apache distribution containing all of these different things, right? What I would recommend, or how I did it with MIH, so we're also using MySQL. So I use Docker as the foundation of my applications, right? So I would go to Docker, go to the hub, and in order to create a Docker server, Docker container, I would just search under the API hub MySQL, right? Once you do that, this first one. So you can see an official Docker container from the MySQL team. And all you have to do is learn, you'll first have to learn Docker, right? If you don't want to still learn a new technology, XAMPP is a great tool to use for beginners. It's very quick to use, easy to use. But if you would like to go a little bit more deeper in understanding the databases and stuff, you can use MySQL. Why did they give me a nonsense search? MySQL. Yeah, so you can see here's a MySQL verified publisher, right? So you can click on this, or it's already open, I think. And they explain how to create a container through this. So something like this, right? To create your database, right? So you would use Docker to deploy your database or to spin up your database, or XAMPP as another tool. Thank you, Jay, for that suggestion. So once you have that, remember that if you're not using Docker, so Docker, I'm willing to learn Docker. That's a great tool. So what I was about to say is, if you not going to learn Docker, you're going to have to figure out a way for your two different applications to speak to each other. Because I'm assuming that your web hosting application will be on another server and your database will be on another server. You'll have to figure out how they communicate with each other. If you're using Docker, it all sits on one hardware. I don't know, that's not the right wording to use, but one system itself, one operating system. Then Docker would create your front end layer, would create your API layer, and so Docker Compose and create your database layer. Also, what's cool with Docker is it sorts out the networking also. That allows the different containers. So remember, Docker, the language is containers. It allows the different containers to communicate with each other extremely simple, extremely easily. simply, right? Instead of having this on its own separate machine, a database, then having an API layer on its own separate machine, and then an application on another machine, and then figuring out how to communicate between them. Docker takes care of that for you. Yeah, I'm hosting the web application on Nestify for now, but I want clients to book Nestify. That sounds like an interesting tool. Let's see if Nestify is here. Nestify. Yeah, so you can see there's even a Docker container for Nestify. Not by the verified publishers, but you can probably go through it and figure out. This one is a little bit old, but you can see, yeah, this was published Netlify. What's it? Netlify. Oh, my bad. Netlify. Yeah, and it's even created even better. Thank you so much for correcting me. Even better, you can see Netlify is over here. So if you want to have I'm assuming this is like a hosting server, you can use Docker. Thank you so much, South African Sniper, for the follow. So here's the Netlify build image, right? And on your side, you'll have to figure out how it works, but this is the code that you would use in your terminal to spin up a Netlify container inside it. Then you'll know how all this works. Another thing that will help you is Docker Compose, right? So instead of creating like how this one shows it over here, where you'll have to create a container for each of the separate things, what Docker Compose does it orchestrates that for you. So it'll create your it'll create your server on one side, or it'll create the different containers for you and it'll connect them together for you. So that's what Docker does. So a web application hosting service. Is it an actual like online thing? Netlify. So are you using their tool itself over here? Oh, so you're using this. So, okay, so if you're using this tool over here, right? I'm assuming this has to do with pricing and stuff over here, right? So you don't really have to use their technologies to host your things, right? Like I showed you, even the creators of this thing created their own Docker container. So it'll be easy for you to do what they're doing, but just on your own. I see there's no pricing section over here. Am I not seeing things properly? So under here, get started. Okay, this is a whole process. But yeah, so the same, I'm assuming this is what the tool looks like once you connect to it, right? But if you're using Docker and you have your own hardware, you can just use this package over here and it will create this whole thing for you under a specific, if you read the documentation, it'll probably tell us what port number it'll use. Probably 80 or something, right? Probably 80 it'll give you as the thing to use. But yeah, you can, so what they've provided for you as a service, you can create it on yourself, on your own hardware. I have somewhat of a mock-up right now. Cool. Do you have an MIH account? And do you have a business account? Because if you have a business account, so let's go to JC. So the reason why I'm asking that is, okay, let's thingy. So please, not yet a business. I'm working on starting one. Cool. And it's super simple. If you're using MIH, you can set up your business account. And what's cool about it is we can visit your website straight through here. So you can see this is one of the businesses. This is Jay's business that is a photography company. So we can visit their website straight from here. So don't worry about this, go to destination. Yeah, but I saw your link and let's check it out. Please don't forget to create an account. Okay, nice. So please don't forget, it's easy. Will do. Thank you so much. So leave the driving to us. Luxury, safety, punctuality, every trip, every time. Love the mission and vision of your business. So book a ride, learn more, right? Okay, this is about you. I am born in 2000, founder of, okay, nice. Based in Polokwane, nice. I see we are spread far and wide across South Africa. So, Why choose us? Travel safety, luxury transport on time, client reviews. Nice. This is really cool. I like this is a client in making a software development company. This is a client in making. This is my first client. Oh, congratulations. I appreciate this. I appreciate you sharing this with us. This is very cool. So, if you have this running on Nestify, right? So, I'm assuming you're using their services out here, and it'll have cost in the beginning. You can manage that on your side, but I would recommend, just to minimize the cost and make sure that you controlling and running everything, is learn Docker and build your own Netlify server, right? You don't have to use their servers to use the same technology that they're using, right? They created a container to do that for us, right? Then once you have this, you can then create your, so Netlify will be this part of your application, right? This will be the container running Netlify. Then you would have I use Fast API, as you can see on the screen. Fast API is an API layer, and MySQL as a database to store data, right? So your Netlify server would then connect to your API layer, which then connects to your database. Database comes back to the API layer, back to the thingy. So that's how you would persist information and retrieve information from the database, right? But you would have to figure out Docker first. And if not Docker, then you can use other services that are kind of easy. What front end tool did you use to create this? Like, did you use React? Did you use React? Did you use Flutter? Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for the follow. Remember, guys, if you like what you're seeing here, we are available on Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. I see you are using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What a legend. What a legend. Thank you so much for the heart me. What a legend. So since you use that, right, I can inspect your code and I should be able to see everything over here. Right? If I go to, let's make this bigger. So if you're using just those few tools over here, I should be able just to snipe out source. There's it over here. So I see your index. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice, I'm seeing the index, the JavaScript. Okay, so an easier way for you to think of this is like what Jay recommended, right? Using XAMPP and storing that on your own server or on Netlify itself. I don't know if they have something like that. And you can use JavaScript. You can connect to a database straight from JavaScript if you want. You don't have to still go through all the different tools like an API layer, all of this. If you're just using straight up JavaScript, there's definitely a way. You can even ask Mzansi AI. Let's ask Mzansi AI for a script. Please write a script. Please write a script in JS to pull information from a DB. Right? Thank you so much, Bat33, for the follow. So here's Mzansi AI giving you some code, giving you some guidance on how to connect to a database. Let me know, JavaScript experts, if this code is correct. I don't know JavaScript that well. I use Dart as a language. But here it's, man is out here coding. So let's see, okay, JavaScript to pull information from a database. I'll provide a general example using hypothetical database. Right? Important note, the specific code will vary significantly depending on the type of database you're using. MySQL, Postgres. So the hypothetical database. So this would be your database over here to pull information. Database.fill. I'm not sure if this code is correct. I have no idea about JavaScript. Let's give it some more hints. My database, my DB is MySQL. A MySQL DB. Thank you so much for the likes. I'm seeing them fly through. Okay. So this one over here, now it's telling me to use npm. I know npm is a package management thing, node package manager, that's what it's called. Now we're getting deep into things. But yeah, you can see here's the SQL script over here. Select star from your table name, replace your table name. The parameters over here. So all of these things. If he knows JavaScript, he might as well create Express.js backend for an API. Very interesting. Ngele. This is very interesting. Express.js. Please, can you explain Express.js? So I'm assuming it's another like framework that you can use. Lots of tools, lots of frameworks. There's multiple tools out there. This is what I've realized with starting MIH. There's multiple tools out there, just like when we were here. So we're gonna hear what Express.js is about now, right? But there's multiple tools that serve the same purpose. Like Ngele was saying, that you can also use this. Let's listen.
Hey there, wave in hand. Mzansi AI here, ready to help you understand Express.js. No worries, I'll break it down in a way that's easy to grasp. Essentially, Express.js is like a super helpful toolkit for building web applications with JavaScript. Think of it as a framework that simplifies the process of creating a robust and scalable backend for your websites and apps. What does it do? Simplifies routing. It makes it easy to define how your application responds to different URLs, like comma about, products middleware magic. It allows you to add extra functionality to your application, like handling authentication, logging, or parsing data handles requests and responses. It takes incoming requests from users and sends back appropriate responses. Scalability. It's designed to handle a lot of traffic, so your app can grow with your users. Why use it? Express.js is popular because it's flexible, lightweight, and has a huge community. It's a great choice for beginners and experienced developers alike. Would you like me to elaborate on any of these points?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI.
More about a specific feature, smiling face with smiling eyes and rosy cheeks.
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI, for that help, and Bat33 coming through with an explanation. So basically, like I mentioned over here, I'm using Fast API as my API layer, but Express.js will be the exact same thing. So your API layer will then be Express.js. You'd need to know Node.js first, so that it gets deeper and deeper out here, but they serve the same purpose. Because if we go back to here, it says it simplifies routing. So that's like if you have different APIs like /user or /booking or /something, right? That's different routes for your API in order to tell your API layer, don't cry, don't cry, my guy, it's okay, it's okay. It's very scary in the beginning, but once you get into it, once you get used to it, it starts becoming second nature to you. So don't worry about that now. But it simplifies routing. So like say you want bookings, right? To get your bookings, maybe your route will be whatever your domain is, /bookings, right? And then /bookings/all maybe, right? To get all the bookings. Or the middleware, the middleware, I think, I'm not too familiar, allows you to add text functionality to your application, like handling authentication. Yeah, I'm not too sure what middleware is. I think I do use it, but I don't understand the concept that well. Let me know in the chat what you think. If you know what it's all about, let me know. Handling a request, so that's basically sending information to the API layer and then sending information back to your application. Scalable. So this is something if you, like I can see that your business, that your application over here is a ride service, right? So a ride service, there's probably thousands of people that want to use ride services, right? So your application has to be scalable. So this handles that for you. It allows you to, your layer will grow with you, right? So that's what it is. So once again, you'll have to know how this works, and you'll probably have to know what Node.js is, like Bat33 was saying. So that's what you can do also. If you don't want to learn Node.js, another tool, then I think Fast API does the exact same thing. So is Fast API the same? Long stories again. But, so great, let's listen to the beginning and then we'll pause it.
Question. You're right to ask. Fast API and Express.js are both popular tools for building web applications, but they have some key differences. Are they the same? No, they are not the same, although they both serve a similar purpose. Here's a quick comparison. Express.js, language, JavaScript, Node.js, focus, general purpose framework for building web applications and APIs. Performance, can be performant, but often requires more manual configuration. Data validation, requires manual validation using middleware or libraries. Documentation generation is not built in, requires external tools. Fast API, language, Python focus, building APIs with a strong emphasis on performance and data validation. Performance, designed for high performance, often comparable to Node.js and good data validation, build. In data validation using Pydantic, making it easy to ensure data integrity. Documentation, automatically generates interactive API documentation using OpenAPI and Swagger UI. In a nutshell, if you're already...
So we can pause that. So it's basically a similar tool. However, depending on the languages that you know, so this one uses JavaScript. It's a general purpose, so it's like a beginner's guide into APIs and things. It can be performant, often requires manual configuration, requires manual validation. So there's too many manual things in over here. I think Fast API caters for all of that for you, right? Documentation also. So if I go to... So this is automatically generated by MIH for us, right? So this is automatically generated by MIH by Fast API for us. So these are all of our different routes that we have available or that we created in our API layer, right? To communicate with our database and stuff. So this, I didn't have to build this in. It was automatically generated for us. But if you're using Express.js, you're gonna have to do that manually. And it's extremely helpful having something like this, which is Swagger, to test out APIs. So say, for example, this doctor's office API, right? I can try it out. We won't get any answer from this now because it's secured, the API. You see unauthorized, right? So we won't be able to, not for beginners, but it might be regarded as that because of a lot of people start by learning JS. Okay, interesting. So it's not for beginners, but because people learn JavaScript as beginners, they would maybe lean more towards the Express.js. But yeah, there's a lot of manual things. I like things automated for me. So this is it. And do you know the language Python, right? That's also another thing that we should know, right? Is the languages that we are using. So if you only know JavaScript, then you can use Express.js because you know that language. If you know Python and you're familiar with Python as a language, or you're willing to learn Python, then maybe you can have a look at Fast API. But they're quite cool, both of these. And once again, let's go to Express.js, and so there's some Express.js things. I don't know what is valid and what is correct over here, but I'm assuming you would just use Node.js for a Flutter container, right? So here's the official Node.js package. So I know JavaScript a bit, still learning JavaScript though, C#, and about to start my SQL/MongoDB. Interesting. So you know quite a few things. So I think learning a new language is not that scary if you know so many languages like this, right? There's like 3 languages that you already know. It's basically the same. It's even easier. I'm assuming, I haven't done C# before, but it's easier than Java, definitely. And if Java and C# is the same, it's easier than both of them, learning the language. So here's some Node.js stuff, right? Here's from the Linux Foundation, Node.js. So there's a lot of different options for you. If you want to use Express.js, there's a Node.js thing over here. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, that's what you can get up to. Why does this keep doing that? Minimize. Yeah, so very interesting. I wish you all the best for your business. And please feel free to set up your business account on MIH. And if you just have like a portfolio of yourself or something, add it there, then we can visit your website through the Mzansi directory. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Is there any other questions? I completely forgot. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Did you see how quickly we went on a long tangent? But that's fine. We were all learning here. There's some interesting things that I learned also. So, did you see how easy it was because we're using Flutter as a framework? So, for those that don't know what a framework is, let's please explain what Flutter is. Right? If you don't know what Flutter is, you can ask Mzansi, and Mzansi will come through with a great answer for us.
Hey there, wave in hand. Flutter is a really cool tool used for building beautiful, fast apps for mobile, web, and desktop, all from one code base. Think of it as a superpower for developers' startles. Essentially, Flutter is a UI toolkit developed by Google. It uses a special language called Dart to create visually appealing apps. What's awesome is that it allows developers to create apps that look and feel great on any platform: Android, iOS, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and even web browsers grinning face with starry eyes.
Alright, so that's what Flutter is. It's a framework. So instead of you using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as the languages to style your application, to manage your data, to manage all of these different things, you would just use Dart. That's the language, similar to JavaScript. And this is what we're using here. And Flutter, which is the UI toolkit. So it provides you with multiple widgets to use, but that's a whole nother journey. But this is what we are using. Because we are using Flutter, you saw how easy it was for us to create the star things over here, the rating stuff. So if I click on this, you'll see how, I don't know if I can drag it. No, I can't drag it, but you see how you can just click and then the stars will come through. I didn't have to code that much for it. I just added in like one line of code or something. Yeah, I added in this widget over here. I added this widget in, and now we have a star rating, and that's because Flutter uses, or the Flutter community likes publishing their things on pub.dev. So you are able to just use use what they created also. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But use their tools themselves. So yeah, very cool, very interesting. Tomorrow I'll work on trying to get this rating stuff, this rating over here, inside our business profile. Inside the business profile over here. But also what I was thinking is, we need to also, I don't just want stars as our ratings, I also want the person to review it. Like provide when you're reviewing a Take-A-Lot item, or you're giving a review on the Google Play Store, you would not just give your 5 stars. You can't just give your 5 stars without a rating, but you can give a 5 stars with a rating or with a description or with a review also. So we want to add that into MIH. So that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. But the first step is trying to understand and figure out how this rating stuff works. Where is it? Next one over here. How this rating stuff works. And it looks like it just works out of the box, but we can customize it, play around with it, all of those different things, and we should be able to hook it up. But cool, I think that will be enough for today. I see it's 20 past 8 now, which is cool. Let me flip the camera over the other platforms. So thank you so much everyone for joining the live this evening. I appreciate you. The conversations were good. I'll keep you updated. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to create an account. Thank you, Ngele, for following us now. Make sure you create your MIH account. We are available on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. That's what we just use now. Awesome session, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for the follow. So we are available on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. You can just search Mzansi Innovation Hub. You'll find us. You should find us at the top of the list. You can download us there or search us on Google and create your MIH account and start asking Mzansi a question. Start using the Mzansi directory to downloading it now. Perfect. Love it. Make sure you add your purpose. In tomorrow's live, what we can do is we can go ahead and review your purpose. If you have a business or if you have your own website, make sure you create your business account or enable your business account so you can add your website over there, and then we can review it together, just like what we did with Jay's website yesterday and what we did with Kotso's website today, right? So cool. Thank you so much. Also, you can follow us on TikTok. You saw how the experience is today on TikTok, but the best experience is over on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. You can see the full screen over there. It's much better. You can, when we coding, actually coding, it's a better experience over there than just chatting. Cool. Thank you so much. Great live. Let's keep working hard, Mzansi. 100%. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow in tomorrow's live, and let's keep working hard, Mzansi. Check careersnow.co.za. Build using Next.js and Superbase for thingy. Perfect. Make sure you create your account, set up your business account, add this website to your business account, and we will review it tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing it, guys. Looking forward to seeing it. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's keep working hard, Mzansi. I will see you tomorrow.